I'm Dustin Sanchez. You're watching Dustin Sanchez TV. This is the 7-minute networking lightning round. Today we have attorney Rob Thompson, and we will introduce him now. Rob, how did you get your start in the family law attorney business?
All right. So it's not a terribly exciting story, but it is a story. So during law school, my first I guess legal job was clerking for a family law attorney, a solo practitioner, and so that's when I first got my exposure to family law and what that looks like on the law practice side. And then when I graduated law school, fast forward and passed the bar, I went to work for a little firm that did some family law, and then I went out on my own. And one of the very first cases that I handled was it was a divorce. It was also a determination of paternity because my client was pregnant at the time of the divorce.
Mm.
The father was not her husband. The husband was actually in prison serving a 6-year sentence for aggravated assault. He tried to kill her, left her for dead there in their home, and her father came and found her like that. She survived, thankfully, and recovered fully. Thank the Lord for that. But yeah, that was quite a doozy for my first case. It was it was a threefer. So I had the divorce, I had the paternity, and then I had the aggravated assault tort. So we sued him, got her about a $300,000 judgment. He defaulted, so courts aren't going to give a multi-million-dollar judgment in a default usually. But yeah, so that was exciting. And then from there, I just kind of grew from that. That was, baptism by fire. Everything else has been easy after that.
That's funny you mentioned that particular type of case because that sounds extremely similar to my first and only divorce case.
Is
Had
that right?
all those things involved in it.
That's
And I said,
hilarious.
this is my
I guess it's
last
more common than I thought.
right. Well, you talked about how you got your start. Maybe you can tell us about some of the emerging trends in the Texas family law.
Hmm. So the big emerging trend that I see is that it's not really specific to family law or law practice, but it's AI, and I'm starting to see it everywhere. And all the tools that we use, all the tech that we use within the practice of law, they're starting to offer some AI enhancements and things like that. And then there are of course your Chat GPT and things like that. I'm kind of exploring it. I'm not relying on any of it yet, but I think that's probably coming. It's going to make us more efficient and give us more horsepower. I don't think it's going to replace the legal minds, because they're still there are still some kinks to work out, if you will. But that's coming, I think.
Okay, well, I know that you're a veteran, or maybe you're still on active reserve, but could you talk a bit about your military service?
Sure. So I enlisted in the Louisiana Army National Guard in 2004. I joined the Louisiana Army National Guard band, and I served in that unit for about 9 years. Played trumpet and bass guitar, electric bass in the rock band, and then trumpet in the ceremonial bands and the jazz band, things like that. Really great experience, great unit. I, I miss all those folks. We had great times. Deployed to Iraq with that unit in 2010. It's a funny story. We actually became fourth platoon of an infantry line company. The band has about 40 members that deployed, and so it was perfect size to make us fourth platoon of this infantry line company. And if you've got any veterans that are watching, they know that the band and the infantry are at opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of hua-ness. And that you could make a movie out of that experience. It was one of those comical things that just culture shock for us and for them. I'm sure they enjoyed watching us PT and try to army like they do. And it was, we could actually shoot. We surprised them. So we went to the range and we did pretty well there. But it was a lot of fun. Um, you know, if as fun as deploying to Iraq can be, I suppose. But that was sort of at the tail end of operations there in Iraq, so we didn't see a whole lot of action, as it were. So good deployment. And then fast forward a couple of years, I graduated law school, took the bar, and then I commissioned as a JAG officer in the Texas Army National Guard. And I'm still in. I'm actually retiring this year after 20 years of total service. Deployed to Afghanistan in 2017 with Texas Army National Guard 36th Infantry Division, and then to Kuwait in 2021 during COVID times. That was a lot of fun.
Rob, you're a member of the U.S. Army National Guard. You're my favorite attorney out there in the Woodlands, Texas. So, how can I know if somebody is a good potential client for you?
Sure. So, good potential clients are usually people who have been served with divorce papers and they need representation so that their interests are protected, or they're getting ready to file for divorce themselves, and they want to file first, and they want to make sure that their interests are protected. And good referral partners are other attorneys who don't handle family law matters, but they still want to serve their clients, and they want to make sure that their clients get the best possible representation. And financial advisors often refer clients to us as well if they know of the situation. Although probably better referral partners are attorneys that don't practice in this area.
Okay, well, I'll see if we can find some attorneys who don't practice family law and even some financial planners to introduce you to. If you guys out there know any great ones, hit me up in the comment section. Thanks, Rob. Have a good one, everybody.